So I'm down here at the garden. Like, I don't even know why I'm upset, because it could have been so much worse, but the wild hogs found it. And I guess it's like scary to think like you can put so much time and effort and rely so much on something, and it could literally be wiped clean overnight. And now like the fear comes down to like, now that they've found it and it's a food source for them, are they going to come back? This is the reality of it, and this was my little lettuce patch. And I had planted some more starts along here, and planted some bok choy, but this is all gone. Hogs apparently like kale, and I actually was not planning on starting kale for the fall because I could have kept these plants going for a while, but they're gone. Like, we're not gonna eat them. They got up my cucumber plants, more kale. They've just rooted all that up. They're so invasive and so destructive. They tore these beds all up. This is actually my favorite lettuce, and I was saving it for seed, but I won't be keeping that now. I'll pull it. And I called Aaron because I wanted him to see it. Literally all this wasn't here yesterday. Well, like, obviously, now that I've shed a few tears, it could be worse. Like, I mean, like, they could have wreaked complete havoc. But I guess my worry is now that they've found it, are they going to come back to it?
Well, they've been here 2 nights in a row. I think they might skip the night. I'll pull the camera and see what time they're coming in. I'm going to get the chip.
Okay.
See what happens.
And then, yeah, look over there. Tore all this up. Huh? They've tore all this fresh grass we just started growing here. All that we just planted, they've torn it up. They've torn all of this up. All this they've torn up. They've gotten to the strawberries. Torn all that up. They're just so destructive. That actually looks okay. They tilled it for me, but good grief. What is this random spot? I don't understand. You tore that up. At least that cucumber plant's okay. So I'm thankful it's not worse. I'm thankful that obviously most of my garden is still standing. I only lost a few plants. Aaron's going to pull trail camera chip to see if he can see them coming in. My hair is special. And see what time they're coming in. This garden is more than a garden. This is my peace. This is my place of rest. This is where I come to pray. This is a form of worship. And I guess that just kind of feels violated. I don't know if that's making any sense to anyone. Maybe somebody out there will understand it, but you know, you give so much and you sacrifice so much, so when you have something that's like your own that you feel gives back to you, and then you're faced with the reality that it's like, oh, in one night a feral animal, a feral hog pack could just come in and just utterly destroy something that really means so much to you. And I'm not trying to be a baby, but this is real life. I actually had planned on planting some more of that stuff that had been taken away. I'm going to do green beans, I really love these Market More cucumbers, and some more of my favorite lettuce mix. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these in the ground. Even over there was my cilantro that I was going to use today. Alright, let's try to find some positive. I've got some carrots coming up right now. These, I must have planted sunflowers here and forgotten about them. But I left them because they're sunflowers. And I wasn't sure if they were a weed, but I just had this feeling deep down inside that they weren't a weed. And turns out they are in fact sunflowers. So we'll have some beautiful sunflowers growing there shortly. Cosmos are still doing fantastic. My tomatillos are doing awesome, and my really good friend Stephanie just sent me her salsa recipe, and even though she can't be here to make it with me like she did last year, she at least sent me the recipe, so I'm going to be able to make that. And then my sweet potatoes are doing okay. They seem to just miss them, so thank God for that. I'm really excited for some sweet potatoes. And luckily everything in here, and the tomatoes rows are doing really well. My tomatoes are starting to turn red, and thank you Jesus, they did not come in through here. We're starting to get some peppers and some shishitos, which we really, really enjoy eating. I have a few more cucumbers I get to harvest, so that's good. Today I think I'm gonna make some salsa. I just have a craving for some fresh garden salsa, and I think today is a good day for that. Just gonna enjoy it and be thankful for it, and try not to worry too much about the what could be's or the what ifs, and just focus on the here and now, and where I'm at, and what I can do, and how we can be better going forward. Here. All that is sign of it. Had always talked about buying fencing because we've always seen signs of them, but they've never been an issue in the garden until now. And we also know this is not our permanent garden spot on the property. We had planned on next year moving it closer to the house, whichever house that is, on the farm. So now every single noise I'm like, what is that? Kind of freaked out. Anyway, I'm gonna finish doing this and we're gonna get a game plan. We always knew we would have to eventually fence off the garden area. It was one of those things where it's okay until it's not okay. I think we're reaching the point where it's not okay. It's just also not good timing for a lot of reasons, but that's okay. It's all gonna work out. Everything works out. Go inside and try to, well, I'm gonna talk to Aaron and see if we can figure out a game plan to save the garden. They were actually in the middle of the garden where the tomatoes and the peppers and flowers are, and that's really concerning because that's the big bulk of my crop so far this year. So even though we can't really afford to put up a fence, we can't really afford to not put up a fence because we're already so far into it and I already have so much invested. So we're gonna come up with an idea, come up with a plan, probably make some few phone calls, do some research, and I will definitely let you know and take you along with what we decide. So in the meantime, may the Lord bless and keep you.